Well, folks, it appears that Disney really is interested in taking all of its great old IP and absolutely destroying it. The latest example is their casting with regard to Snow White. They have now decided that apparently every redhead in the Disney universe will be recast as a racially diverse person. And this is how, for example, The Little Mermaid ended up as a person of color. It's something that somebody noticed. It's basically, if you're a redhead in Disney universe, then they'll recast you. But now they're recasting everyone. So they've cast Snow White. Snow White is now going to be played by Rachel Zegler. Okay, now, Rachel Zegler, you may know, again, her name is Snow White. Now, you might consider that racist, but that's also the name of the actual fairy tale. And in the actual fairy tale, it says skin, I mean, this is from the original 1936 Snow White. Skin as white as snow, right? That is literally in her name. That's why she has her name. So I guess just to like screw with people, they're casting, Rachel Zegler is a very talented person. I'm just, it's weird casting, you might say, right? Like, I don't understand. There's certain parts that are racially specific. I mean, very clearly so. Right? They're not going to cast Tiana from the Frog Prince, the princess, whatever it is. They're not going to recast Tiana as a white lady. They're not going to, even though you certainly could, but they're not going to. And we all know why, of course. Well, Snow White is like maybe the only racially specific white princess because it's in the name. And it's not like greatly evil if a person is cast as what the part is. It's very strange to me that if you cast Alexander Hamilton as a black person, that's totally fine. But if you cast Martin Luther King as a white person, that is totally unacceptable. Maybe you should cast people as like what the description of the part is. There are certain parts where the person is described as white. And that's okay. That's not like the end of the world. So you have to be racially blind when it comes to a person who is cast for white physical descriptors. But you have to be racially diverse for everybody else, is the way that this works. It's a weird take. It's definitely a weird take. So she is, I believe, Colombian American is Rachel Zegler. And she is, her father is of Polish descent. Her mom is from Colombia. Or her maternal grandmother came from Colombia in the 1960s. So in the new Snow White is what people in the Democratic Party would call brown, right? I mean, like, because people of color, they're brown people. Like, this is what they would call it. She would be categorized in the census as non-white, according to the Democratic Party, playing Snow White. Okay? That's not the weird part. That's not. The weird part is the dwarves. So you may have realized that Snow White and the Seven Dwarves has dwarves, right? Because, like, they're dwarves, and that's, like, what they are. And one of the most characteristic things about the dwarves in Snow White and the Seven Dwarves is that they are short because they are dwarves. Well, we have decided that this is very, very insulting. And so the Seven Dwarves, so it's 6 racially diverse tall people and 1 person who is a little person, is my understanding. All of this, so one of the dwarves is also a woman. So that's again, makes for a very weird dynamic because as you recall from the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, as you recall from the original, they all live in one room together. So that's definitely weird. This is, let's talk about the fact that life issues still matter in the country. Roe versus Wade was overturned, and still tens of thousands of babies are going to be snuffed out this year. You can help stop all of that thanks to our friends over at Preborn's network of clinics. Preborn is the largest provider of free ultrasounds in the United States. They offer love, support, and compassion to hurting women, helping them make the right choice. By letting a mom see and hear her baby on ultrasound, the child's chance at life is doubled. Preborn clinics provide moms who choose life with maternity and baby clothes, diapers, cars, seats, counseling, and much more. All of those services, up to 2 years of assistance, are provided free of charge. Join me on my mission to save 17,000 babies from abortion. One ultrasound is just $28. A $140 donation gives 5 babies a chance at life. A $15,000 donation will cover the cost of an ultrasound machine, save countless babies' lives for years to come. All gifts are tax deductible. We are the answer to saving these lives. To donate, dial pound 250, say keyword baby. That's pound 250 baby, or go to preborn.com/Ben. That's preborn.com/Ben. Again, preborn.com/Ben. Go check them out right now, or donate by dialing pound 250 and saying keyword baby. Most people think about poor air quality when you have a fire that makes the air quality absolutely terrible. Have you stopped to think about the polluted air in your day-to-day life? Because the truth is, your and your family's health might be affected by the air quality in your home. Allergens and germs floating in the air you breathe can make you sick. The good news is that there's technology out there that helps you purify your living space easily and affordably. With Enviro Cleanse, you'll never have to worry again. Enviro Cleanse is an in-home air purifying unit designed to destroy cold and flu viruses, allergy-inflaming toxins, mold, and even more. Enviro Cleanse promises far fewer colds, allergies, and better sleep. They even give you a free air quality monitor to test the difference in your own home. If all home air purifiers are the same, then why exactly did the U.S. Department of Defense select Enviro Cleanse to protect and purify the air on board our Navy ships? Enviro Cleanse air purifiers use hospital-grade technology. Their air purifiers come in all sizes, colors, and prices to fit every budget. They offer additional products like surface cleaner and laundry detergent as well. We've been using an Enviro Cleanse air purifier at home. It is quiet. It is sleek. With a new baby at home, we want to keep our air quality good. Breathe in pure air. Live a healthier life. Visit ekpure.com. Use code BEN for 10% off your Enviro Cleanse home air purification unit. Right now, you also get their free air quality monitor plus fast free shipping. That is $150 savings. ekpure.com, code BEN. That's ekpure.com, promo code BEN. Apparently, this is all because of Peter Dinklage, the guy from Game of Thrones, who at one point was like, they're casting a racially diverse Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. You're still making that effing backward story about seven dwarves living in a cave together. First of all, they're the heroes of the story, you'll recall. And then Disney said it was taking a different approach to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original. Why is that a stereotype? What if they're just dwarves in the story? I don't understand. Like that, it's so strange that you would think that way. I mean, truly, that's a strange thing. The heroes of the story are the dwarves in Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. The prince isn't even useful in the story. Right? The prince arrives at the very end and kisses Snow White and wakes her up. He didn't do anything about the witch. It's the dwarves who do something about the witch. And like, we can't have dwarves doing that. It has to be racially diverse tall people, including apparently, let's see that picture again. I mean, I just have to describe this for folks who can't actually see the picture. So let me describe the members of the dwarf community in the new live-action Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You have one guy who looks like a member of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because he's actually, a little person. And then you have Jack Dorsey wearing some sort of like Russian hair covering. Looks like a Portland homeless person. And then you have a black female who came straight from the Brown campus. And then you have a black male. And then you have apparently a member of a very low-rent biker gang, a dude with long hair and a beard. And I assume that he is grumpy. You'd have to assume because of his face. And then Carrot Top, and then Gregory Hines. I don't understand the casting. Like, so apparently their goal is to just destroy whatever sense of believability the story has. Yes, it's a fairy tale. You can cast it however you want, but it's literally in the description. It is the most physically descriptive of all titles. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. So now apparently the title of this movie is Hispanic Person, Six Large People, and a Little Person. Which seems like a different film to me. It seems like a different story. Hispanic person, six large people of racially diverse background, and a little person sounds like a different story than Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. It truly is an astonishing thing. And I'm... Okay, so a few things. One, the live action cannibalization of actual IP is an amazing thing. Second, the destruction of actual good IP in favor of new crappy IP is something Disney's been doing for a while, and they're doing it with everything. So they'll slap a warning sticker on Aladdin. They'll slap a warning sticker on Snow White. And then the thing that I actually want to show my kid is Aladdin or Snow White. That's the thing they're actually making money off of. And they make these crappy live action versions. And they're like, that's what we really wish Snow White and the Seven Dwarves were Hispanic lady, six racially diverse large people, and a little person. That's what we wish the story were. It's like casting Sleeping Beauty as an awake, ugly person. It's like the reverse of what this story is. And by the way, I'm just going to point out here, Disney does this with apparently every piece of content now. I've already told my children who are big Star Wars fans, like original Star Wars fans, that the last three movies just don't exist. Because this is what Disney does now. Kathleen Kennedy. What they do is they take all their good IP and they cannibalize it and destroy it in favor of crappy new IP that nobody cares about. Meanwhile, they won't even sell the old IP. If they really didn't like Aladdin or Snow White, they really thought these things were racist, they could put that IP up on the sales block, or they could just take it down entirely from their platform. They won't do that because they understand that what we're actually subscribing to Disney Plus for, if you're still subscribing, is for the old IP. So just slow clap for all the morons in charge of marketing. Because again, you know what would have happened? What would have happened if, for example, they just cast a talented white lady as Snow White and Seven Dwarves? You know what would have happened? Nothing. No one would have cared and would have made a lot of money. No one would have cared. But they're so interested in virtue signaling. They're so interested in cramming down on you, their version of what the world should be, that they are destroying their own IP in the process. So good for them. All right. I suppose in a weird way, they're putting their money where their mouth is. All righty, guys, the rest of the show continues right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be getting into the mailbag. If you're not a member, become a member. Use code Shapiro. Check out for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click that link in the description and join us.